The Gauteng Legislature is considering laying criminal charges against officials in the Infrastructure Development Department and a contractor. They are involved in the construction of a school in a waterlogged area. Maibuye Primary School in Tembisa, north of Johannesburg, has been called a death trap as the wetland could weaken the building structure. For more on this, I'm joined by the Gauteng chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Infrastructure Development, Mpho Modise. Mpho, good evening and thank you very much for your time today. How does a massive infrastructure project like this one go ahead without an environmental impact assessment report?
Well, good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. And safe to indicate that the question you are asking is a very important question to us as a committee. And because of that kind of a question, that's why tomorrow we have decided to invite media to come and join us at 10 in the morning at Maibuye Primary School, so that they can be able to dictate and tell if what we are saying as a committee is true and that the people of Gauteng can believe the committee or not. Because what we found when we first went to Maibuye Primary School, which has about 80 million or so was spent in building that structure, is not adequate, it's not a sufficient building, it's not what young people, especially children who goes to primary school, should be occupying. It's a serious concern to us as a committee. And hence, we have asked the legislature to advise whether it's possible for us as a committee to open a criminal case without going the process of committee inquiry, because we feel and believe that should we go through the committee inquiry process, it might be a lengthy, unnecessary process when this thing is a clear-cut case of negligence, of people sleeping on duty, and people not simply not caring about what happens to people of Maibuye and Tembisa, because probably their children will not be affected, and them as parents have got nothing to do with that school. The
school was supposed to have been occupied in 2017. It lies now as a white elephant. Who was the delegated authority to make the final decision on where that school was going to be built?
Those are the issues that we are confronted with now, and these are the issues that we are busy engaged on, because we want to open a criminal case against the person who was responsible. But in the absence of that, we'll open a case against the HOD of the Department of Infrastructure Development, because he is an accounting officer in this regard, including the contractor that was building the school. Because if you go there, up the top, you don't even have to be a rocket scientist to understand that that thing is a wetland. You can't build any infrastructure in that building. The moment you enter the gates, it tells you that this structure here is going to collapse any day from today. And you can only imagine what will happen if the children are allowed to attend to that school and the school collapses during the school, when the children are still in class. It's another disaster that is sitting with government. We believe it's about time that people...
I believe a part of your tour to the school, you saw a sewage line. So the school is built on top of a sewage line, which is another health hazard.
Hey, Pratabo, people who were involved in this project simply don't care. They did not care because their children will not have been involved, their children will not have been affected, nor is their relatives or their families. If you come tomorrow and join us during the media talk, you'll understand exactly what we're saying. And with this, we believe that this will be a groundbreaking if the rules allow us to open a criminal charge without going through the committee inquiry, because we feel that the committee inquiry is going to waste another resource of government that is not necessary. When there is someone who has pocketed millions of rands building that school, when they could have told that the school and the building, or rather the site where the school must be built, is not adequate for building. And that is why to date, City of Johannesburg is refusing to hand over the certificate of occupancy, because they don't want to be held liable for something that might happen in that school.
Talk to me about the quality of the work done then, because you also want to hold the contractor liable for this mess. I mean, it's wasteful and fruitless expenditure from where I'm sitting. I don't know what the portfolio committee thinks.
We agree with you. It was unnecessary expenditure. It was unnecessary money that went to waste, because our feeling is that thing must be demolished. Because if you leave it as it is, very soon it's going to be a criminal den. The criminals will hide there. They will do nasty things to the community of Maibuye using that building. It must be demolished by necessary means, so that there's nothing there. That structure is not supposed to be where it is today.
So in terms of legalities, then what is the next move for the portfolio committee?
I can tell you now, we have asked the legislature to look into it because there are certain things that they needed to look into. Our understanding is that something like that it has not happened where a committee can open a criminal case except for committee inquiry first. And our belief and feeling is that committee inquiry is going to waste time. That thing is a clear-cut case. There was negligence. Someone decided to do something that was wrong, and they went ahead without due diligence. And we want to hold them accountable. And we believe that if we are able to do so as infrastructure development, it will pave the way for member Dumisani Dakilo, the chairperson of Roads and Transport, that if his committee was to do oversight on any road that is being built in the province, and they feel and they believe that that is not a quality road, they can equally do the same, go to the police station and open the case. And that's what we want to do tomorrow. When we leave Maibu, we want to go straight to Tembisa police station and open a criminal case against the Department of Infrastructure officials, including the contractor that was given business.